In a world ruled by fear, a shepherd boy stood against a warrior. This is a retelling of David and Goliath. In ancient times, the land of Israel was often threatened by neighboring nations. Peace was fragile, and war was never far away. Among Israel's most dangerous enemies were the Philistines, a powerful people skilled in warfare and equipped with iron weapons far stronger than those of Israel. When conflict rose once more, both armies gathered for battle in a place called the Valley of Elah. The Philistines camped on one hill. The Israelites stood on another. Between them lay a wide, open valley. For many days, neither side advanced. Soldiers waited in tense silence. The air was heavy, as if the land itself was holding its breath. Then, from the Philistine camp, a single warrior stepped forward. His name was Goliath of Gath. Goliath was a giant, towering far above ordinary men. His height alone struck fear into the hearts of seasoned soldiers. He wore heavy bronze armor that weighed more than most men could lift. A massive helmet rested on his head. In his hand, he carried a huge spear with an iron tip, and before him walked a shield-bearer, clearing his path. When Goliath moved, the ground seemed to tremble. Every morning and every evening, Goliath stepped into the valley and shouted toward the Israelite army. "Why do you come out and line up for battle?" he called. "Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he can fight and kill me, we will become your servants. But if I defeat him, you will serve us." It was a challenge meant to humiliate. One man against one man. Winner takes all. For 40 days, Goliath repeated this challenge. For 40 days, his voice echoed across the valley. And for 40 days, no one answered. Even King Saul, the tallest and strongest man in Israel, was afraid. The soldiers trembled whenever Goliath appeared. Conversations in the camp grew quiet. Hope slowly faded. Fear spread through the army like a sickness. No one believed the giant could be defeated. Far from the battlefield, in the small town of Bethlehem, lived a young shepherd named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers. While his older brothers served in the army, David remained behind to care for his father's sheep. David's life was simple but not easy. He spent long days in the fields, leading the flock to water and protecting them from danger. When lions or bears attacked, David did not run. He fought them, rescued the sheep, and trusted God with his life. At night, beneath the open sky, David played music on his harp. He prayed. He learned patience, courage, faith. One day, David's father Jesse called him. "Your brothers are at the battlefield," Jesse said. "Take this food to them. See how they are doing. Bring me word." Early the next morning, David left the sheep with another shepherd and set out for the Valley of Elah. When David arrived, the Israelite army was preparing as usual. Soldiers lined up. Voices shouted. Armor clanked, but no one moved forward to fight. David delivered the supplies and ran to greet his brothers. As he spoke with them, a deep, thunderous voice rolled across the valley. It was Goliath. David watched as the giant stepped forward once again. He listened as Goliath mocked Israel, mocked their army, mocked their God. Around David, soldiers recoiled in fear. Some turned away, others trembled. David was confused. "Who is this Philistine?" he asked. "Why is he allowed to insult the army of the living God?" The men explained the situation, the king's reward, the fear, the 40 days of shame. But David could not understand their silence. His oldest brother Eliab overheard him and grew angry. "Why have you come here?" Eliab demanded. "Who did you leave those few sheep with? I know your heart. You just came to watch the battle." David was hurt, but he stayed calm. "What have I done now?" he said. "Can't I even ask a question?" David turned away and continued asking others. Wherever he went, his words stirred something: curiosity, hope, shock. Soon word reached King Saul. A young shepherd believes he can fight the giant. David was brought before the king. Saul looked at him carefully. Young, unarmored, calm. "You cannot fight this Philistine," Saul said. "You are only a boy, and he has been a warrior since his youth." David spoke with confidence. "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep," he said. "When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep, I went after it. I struck it and rescued the sheep. The same God who rescued me then will rescue me now." Saul listened. "Go," he finally said, "and may the Lord be with you." Saul placed his own armor on David, a helmet, a sword, heavy bronze. David tried to walk. He could not. "I am not used to these," David said. He removed the armor and handed it back. Instead, David went to a nearby stream. He knelt down and chose 5 smooth stones. He placed them in his pouch. In his hand, he held only his sling. The soldiers watched in silence as David walked into the valley. Goliath saw him and laughed. "Am I a dog," the giant roared, "that you come at me with sticks? Come here, and I will give your flesh to the birds." David stopped. "You come against me with sword and spear," he said, "but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." The giant charged forward. David ran toward him. He reached into his pouch, took out a stone, placed it in his sling, swung it, and released it. The stone flew through the air. It struck Goliath in the forehead. The giant froze. Then he fell face down to the ground. The valley was silent. David ran forward, took the giant's own sword, and ended the battle. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled. The Israelites shouted and rushed forward. The enemy scattered. That day, Israel was saved. David was brought again before King Saul. "Who are you?" the king asked. "I am the son of your servant Jesse," David replied, "from Bethlehem." From that moment on, David's life changed forever. But he never forgot what truly won the battle. Not strength, not size, not weapons, but faith. And so the shepherd who faced a giant would one day become a king.